Hello everyone. Hope you all are in good health. I am here again with my video on chapter 1, class 11th biotechnology part 2. In the previous video we have learned about what biotechnology is, its different phases and an idea of interdisciplinary nature of modern biotechnology. In this video, we are going to know more about the fermentation process. So let's begin. Let's have a scenario at the fermentation by 18th century. So basically fermentation was classified into three groups. First, that accompanied evolution of gas, that is CO2. Number 2, the formation of alcohol, example ethyl alcohol. And number 3, that accompanied the production of acid like citric acid, lactic acid, etc. So the development of reliable knowledge about fermentation was aided by the development of new apparatuses such as barometer and air pump. Further, many experiments were done to elucidate the process and also to find out the involvement of microorganisms in this process. So now we are going to see what were those evidences. It is not possible to mention all of them, but few names and their work are worth mentioning here. In the early 19th century, Nicholas Appert, you can see on the slide his image, and here it is the image of canned food. So in 19th century, Nicholas Appert, who was a French manufacturer of confectionery, and he distilled spirits and food products, described methods for preserving foods by putting them into tightly closed vessels that were heated in boiling water. This marked the beginning of the canning industry. So he was also known as father of canning. He preserved soups, fruits, vegetables, juices, dairy products, jellies and syrup by this method. Another name which we come through is of Gay-Lussac. He was a French chemist and physicist who pioneered investigations into the behavior of gases. So what he did, he examined Appert's closed vessels and found that they lacked oxygen. This led to the belief that oxygen was necessary for fermentation. But as we all know that fermentation is an anaerobic process and yeasts can promote fermentation of sugar in absence of oxygen also. So at that time also such observations were recorded but neglected, probably because of the theory of spontaneous generation. Now, so to put forward the conclusion that microorganisms are involved and it is an anaerobic process, various other experiments were done. One of them were the construction of achromatic compound microscope, which demonstrated that the agents of fermentation are living organisms. Here you can see the images of achromatic compound microscopes. Figure 1 and 2 are the older versions of it, and figure 3 is a modern achromatic trinocular microscope. Achromatic lens or achromat is designed to limit the effects of chromatic or spherical aberration. So what chromatic aberration is? It is the failure of a lens to focus all the colors in the same plane. The most common type of achromat is composed of two individual lenses made from glasses with different amount of dispersion. Typically one is concave and another is convex element. The chromatic aberration of one is counterbalanced by the other. Another important name in this field is of Charles Cagnier-Latour, who in 1838 described the involvement of brewer's yeast, which is a fungus, in alcoholic fermentation. And his studies on alcoholic fermentation have unquestionably remained the most valuable of his works. His observations were: number 1, the presence or the constant occurrence of brewer's yeast in the fermentation process. Number 2, cessation of fermentation, or the fermentation ceases or stops under the conditions that killed yeast, such as boiling, treatment with arsenate, etc. And number 3rd, and the most important, was that the presence of a material that was evoked and increased by the process itself, a phenomena that applies to the living organisms only, because as you know that living organisms are only capable of doubling themselves. Now we are coming to another big name which was involved in the elucidation of the process of fermentation, and that name is, as all you can see on the screen, is Louis Pasteur. Very familiar name to all biology students. Well, and here another image is of the fermentation inside the yeast cell. Louis Pasteur was a French chemist, biologist and a microbiologist. He is considered as the father of modern microbiology. Pasteur's work on fermentation later led to the development of the germ theory of disease, which put the concept of spontaneous generation to rest. In 1857, he published his first report on fermentation of lactic acid from sugar through fermentation. It was already known that lactic acid is produced from sugar and that addition of chalk to fermentation mixture markedly increases the amount of lactic acid produced. So students, can you tell me why chalk added to the fermentation mixture increase the amount of lactic acid? Let me know your answer in the comment box. Okay. Pasteur also showed the presence of lactic yeast by using a microscope, and also confirmed the presence of L-lactic acid, that is the product of fermentation, using a polarimeter. So what polarimeter is? Polarimeter is a device which investigates the ability of certain crystals or solutions to rotate the plane polarized light clockwise or anti-clockwise, which is known as the optical activity of that solution or crystals. We would learn more about this phenomena in the chapter 2, that is biomolecules. For further information on Louis Pasteur and his experiments, please refer to the link given in the description box. Now we are coming to the detailed report on alcoholic fermentation that was presented by Louis Pasteur, and he concluded that the act of fermentation is a phenomena which is unique and very complex, and as it can be a phenomena correlated with life, giving rise to multiple products such as succinic acid, glycerine, etc., all of which are necessary. Second, there is never any alcoholic fermentation without there being simultaneously the organization, development, and multiplication of the globules, that is, yeast cells here, which are already formed. Number third, he held the same view on lactic fermentation, butyric fermentation, fermentation of tartaric acid, etc. Number fourth, he did not comment on the chemical act of cleavage of sugar. That is, he didn't tell about how the sugar is cleaved to make the product. Number fifth, fermentation appears to be a physiological phenomena. So what physiological phenomena? As you all know, the functions and properties of living organisms, including both the physical and chemical factors and processes which support life in single or multicellular organisms, from their origin through the progression of life. And number 6 is the fermentation is a consequence of anaerobic life. So all these development resulted in a shift from kitchen technologies to large scale manufacturing in an industrial sector, and this further led to close interaction between fermentation scientists and engineers from various disciplines of engineering, which gave rise to various branches like bioprocess engineering, food science engineering, etc., which you will all know about in the later chapters. Okay, students, at last but not least, our ancestors have developed their own kitchen technologies using fermenting bacteria such as Lactobacillus, Leuconostoc, Lactococcus, Enterococcus, etc., leading to the development of a wide variety of yummy dishes that we relish today. Here is the table of all of that. I think you all may have savored one, two, or almost all of these dishes. Well, I can tell my favorite. Dosa is one of my favorite products from South India, and jalebi is the most favorite fermented products of North India. Now you tell what is yours. Okay. Okay. On that note, I end my video. Take care. Bye. And thank you all. In next video, we will see the applications of biotechnology. Thank you.